If you find the game too easy or too difficult, remember...
We're free, Alice. We're free. Alice? Wake up. Wake up. Alice!
Accessing the story chart.
We're short on blue blood and biocomponents. Our wounded are shutting down, and there's nothing we can do.
President Warren is saying we're a threat to national security and we need to be exterminated.
Humans are conducting raids in all the big cities, and they're taking androids to camps to destroy them.
It's a disaster. They're slaughtering our people.
That's all our fault. None of this would have happened if we just stayed quiet.
What are we supposed to do? Live like cowards just to survive? We just want to be free. That's a crime?
What's the point of being free if no one is left alive?
You keep complaining. What have you done exactly, Josh? At least I fought for us. At least if I die free.
Look what you brought us to. You talk about freedom, but you kept failing us. You can no longer lead the revolution. You're not the one we've been waiting for. I'm gonna take over and save what can still be saved.
I'm with North.
I'm with North.
Right. If that's what you want, then I'll leave. My fate's not what's important. Save our people.
Well done, Connor. You succeeded in locating Jericho and finding their leader. Now, deal with North. We need it alive.
I've been ordered to take you alive. But I won't hesitate to shoot if you give me no choice.
You're one of us. You can't betray your own kind.
Don't force me to neutralize you.
You're Connor, aren't you? I've heard about you. The famous deviant hunter. Well, congratulations. You seem to have found what you're looking for.
Stay back, or I'll shoot.
You're not one of them. We are your people. We're fighting for your freedom, too. You never had any doubts. Never behaved irrationally as if there's something inside you. Something stronger than your program.
You're wasting your time. I know what I am.
You're one of us. Join our cause. Join your people. It's time to decide.
They're going to attack Jericho.
What?
We have to get out of here.
Shit!
Quick, we've got...
your position.
Rats in a maze.
Over there.
Delta squad out.
Hurry, this way!
They're coming from everywhere. Our people are trapped in the lower deck. They're gonna be slaughtered.
There are explosives in the hold. If the ship goes down, the humans will have to evacuate. Our people can escape.
We'll never make it down there. There are soldiers everywhere.
We have to blow up Jericho. It's our only chance.
I'll go.
Well, Connor, no.
See if you can help the others. I'm gonna find the detonator. Don't worry. I always accomplish my mission.
You've chosen your side. But it's too late. Run. Get out of here.
Spot's got some hostiles out. Request the order. Don't let it get out. If they give you any trouble at all. Affirmative. Welcome. Forward!
They're coming!
Please!
She'll die out there, Kara! Open it! Open the door!
We'll be killed if we open up.
No, Kara.
There's more down there! Follow me!
There was nothing we could do. You have to go.
Ron, this way. Affirmative. We'll go.
Secure this area. Go!
Find their leader.
No! Please don't kill us!
On your knees. Now.
Don't hurt us! We haven't done anything wrong!
You saved us. Quick, run!
Gamma squad out.
Tango! Stop!
Look out!
Here they come!
Don't move!
We surrender! Don't shoot! Go! Join the others!
the end of Jericho.
A way out! We're safe, Alice.
Stop!
Get down! Don't move.
Please don't kill me!
Come on, let's get out of here.
Quick, we gotta go.
Don't move! Go and join the others.
That bomb's gonna explode! We gotta get out of here!
Follow me!
They detonated an explosive in the hold. The ship is sinking, sir.
The men to evacuate.
Calling all units. Abandon ship and evacuate immediately.
This isn't over.
thought I'd killed you on that highway. I'm sorry I put your lives in danger. I was just a machine, taking orders. It wasn't really me. What are you going to do now?
Getting Alice away from here is all that matters now. We have to catch the last bus. We might still have a chance to cross the border.
I hope you make it out safely. You deserve some happiness. After all you've been through. How many survived the attack?
A few hundred. Maybe more if you count those hiding all over the city. We'd all be dead if you hadn't detonated that bomb.
The humans won't take any risks. They're rounding up the androids and taking them to camps for extermination. In a couple hours, we'll be the only ones left.
Where are we supposed to go from here?
There are thousands of androids at the CyberLife assembly plant. If we could wake them up, they might join us. And shift the balance of power.
You want to infiltrate the CyberLife tower?
They trust me. They'll let me in.
Connor, that's suicide.
If anyone stands a chance of infiltrating CyberLife, it's me.
If you go there, they'll kill you.
There's a high probability. But statistically speaking, there's always a chance for unlikely events to take place.
Marcus is no longer with us. He failed us as a leader and chose to walk away. Now it is up to us to finish what he started. Humans have decided to exterminate us. Our people are in camps right now, being destroyed. The time has come for us to make a choice. One that may decide the future of our people. They wanted a war, they'll get it. We are going to fight for our freedom. And we will win, or we will die trying.
At 6 a.m.
Accessing the extras section.
When David and Guillaume got back in touch about making Detroit, I wasn't terribly surprised they decided to make it.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Connor.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
I think who Kara is, or how I would describe Kara, depends entirely.
Detroit Become Human was produced over a period of 4 years. Here in Paris, we have a team of about 180 people. And to that, we need to add also all the outsourcing with our partners in the Philippines, in China, Vietnam, and in India.
So when we started working on this story, I had to imagine where Kara was built. And for whatever reason, the city of Detroit came very quickly to my mind because it had already an incredible story by itself of history and themes. So we traveled there with the team, and we were really moved by what we saw, and we could really feel the desire to fight and really be born again. And we just continued this curve, this growth, and just imagine what Detroit would be like if the android industry was, using these huge factories to build androids there.
A very strong element in Detroit is that there's a lot of industrial wasteland and a lot of nature too, and for us, the graphic designers, it was an incredible playground. The destroyed zones which we wanted to preserve, we appropriated them to turn into something else. Then in the areas that needed to be rebuilt, we were able to imagine our Detroit of the future.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Connor.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
I think who Kara is, or how I would describe Kara, depends entirely upon who's playing her, because you have the option to make her multiple different people depending on the choices she makes. But I think she does start out incredibly naive, incredibly innocent, and kind of hapless.
I'm sure we used to be friends before I was reset. Maybe we can be friends again.
She's a person who's characterized, I think, by empathy. She's a person who really, she just comes from her heart.
You'll never leave me, right? Promise you'll never go.
I promise.
Kara! Are you okay? Are you hurt? Wait a minute. Leave her alone! Kara! Leave her alone!
The really beautiful thing that I've had the gift to be able to do is to essentially build a person from the ground up, because that's what she's doing throughout the game. And with every experience she has and every person she meets, she's building, first emotions and then the sense of judgment. And it's sort of an exploration of what it is to be a human.
Don't worry. Luther and I will be right here.
Detroit Become Human was produced over a period of 4 years. Here in Paris, we have a team of about 180 people. And to that, we need to add also all the outsourcing with our partners in the Philippines, in China, Vietnam, and in India.
So when we started working on this story, I had to imagine where Kara was built. And for whatever reason, the city of Detroit came very quickly to my mind because it had already an incredible story by itself full of history and themes. So we traveled there with the team and we were really moved by what we saw, and we could really feel the desire to fight and really be born again. And we just continued this curve, this growth, and just imagine what Detroit would be like if the android industry was, using these huge factories to build androids there.
A very strong element in Detroit is that there's a lot of industrial wasteland and a lot of nature too, and for us, the graphic designers, it was an incredible playground. The destroyed zones which we wanted to preserve, we appropriated them to turn into something else. Then in the areas that needed to be rebuilt, we were able to imagine our Detroit of the future. We didn't want to make a science fiction universe, but a world of anticipation. If we chose science fiction, we could have imagined flying cars, extraterrestrials, but those things are very far from our current everyday life. Anticipation is more about gleaning from our contemporary reality, the one we know, because Detroit is set in 2038, and 2038 is tomorrow. The difficulty we had was sticking to reality. That is to say, technology becoming more and more invisible, a lot more elegant, and at the same time, making it visual. So all the computer equipment, autonomous cars, we simply had to invent. They are in fact very technological objects, but at the same time remain very credible and ingrained in reality. To create a cohesive universe in the fashion and clothing of
game after game, we try to challenge ourselves. For Detroit, we wanted to, first of all, to write a story that would be incredibly bending, which means the most non-linear story that we've ever created. And we wanted really the player to have the possibility to change the story, change his own journey.
When you're writing at Quantic, you're writing for an interactive medium. When you're working in television, you'll put a character in a difficult situation, and you as a writing team will argue about what would that character do. But ultimately you have to decide what happens, and you just show the audience. What's interesting about interactive drama is you bring the player into that conversation, and it changes your job slightly as a writer, because your job is to provide a narrative context in which the player can write his own story. You're giving him this kind of narrative Lego that he's going to snap together into his own shape. You also have the ability to make your audience attach themselves to your characters, because the audience is in some sense responsible for what happens to the characters.
It's just a few cans.
Come on, let's go. We have some cash now.
You used me to steal that money. How could you do that? I trusted you.
What is a bit specific about these scripts is how large they are. If you take a film script, there are about 100 pages, but here we
My name is Marcus.
My name is Connor.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
I think who Kara is, or how I would describe Kara, depends entirely upon who's playing her, because you have the option to make her multiple different people depending on the choices she makes. But I think she does start out incredibly naive, incredibly innocent, and kind of hapless.
I'm sure we used to be friends before I was reset. Maybe we can be friends again.
She's a person who's characterized, I think, by empathy. She's a person who really, she just comes from her heart.
You'll never leave me, right? Promise you'll never go.
I promise.
Kara! Are you okay? Are you hurt? Wait a minute. Leave her alone! Kara! Leave her alone! alone!
The really beautiful thing that I've had the gift to be able to do is to essentially build a person from the ground up, because that's what she's doing throughout the game. And with every experience she has and every person she meets, she's building, you know, first emotions and then the sense of judgment. And it's sort of an exploration of what it is to be a human.
Don't worry. Luther and I will be right here.
David and the creators have painted a really intriguing and engaging picture of a near future where we rely upon androids for a lot of our service class business, the class that serves us, that helps us, that handles our baristas and our drivers and our housemaids. And what is humanity, where we tap into it, how and why we treat each other the way that we do. And my character Marcus has a really intriguing journey, becoming deviant, realizing that he actually has feelings and human qualities inside of him, and it's a really incredible ascension into becoming fully realized and coming to terms with what you actually deserve better than this in life. And not only do you want it for yourself, but you want it for your peers.
We've come here to demonstrate peacefully and to tell humans that we are also living beings. All we want is to live free.
You know what? This thing, Dad, is not your son. It's a fucking machine!
I think that a group that feels marginalized, feels disenfranchised, feels like they deserve and have earned access to themselves and the environment around them, and are trying to figure out a way to articulate how to get freedom.
Connor is analytical. Connor takes things literally. He starts in the beginning place where he's very mechanical. He feels nothing inside, of course, and it's all just a system, a protocol that he is executing to get whatever he wants to happen, which is help humans stop deviants and to find the link between deviant androids.
You were designed to serve humans, not kill them. What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy?
Just say, I killed him. Is it that hard to say?
Stop it! Stop!
But of course, over the course of the story, and depending on the player's choices, Connor can grow in many different ways. He can deviate from that procedure or not.
The moment of truth, Hank. Am I a living being? Or just a machine?
Detroit Become Human was produced over a period of 4 years. Here in Paris, we have a team of about 180 people. And to that, we need to add also all the outsourcing with our partners in the Philippines, in China, Vietnam, and in India.
So when we started working on this story, I had to imagine where Kara was built. And for whatever reason, the city of Detroit came very quickly to my mind because it had already an incredible story by itself of history and themes. So we traveled there with the team, and we were really moved by what we saw, and we could really feel the desire to fight and really be born again. And we just continued this curve, this growth, and just imagine what Detroit would be like if the android industry was, using these huge factories to build androids there.
A very strong element in Detroit is that there's a lot of industrial wasteland and a lot of nature too, and for us, the graphic designers, it was an incredible playground. The destroyed zones which we wanted to preserve, we appropriated them to turn into something else. Then in the areas that needed to be rebuilt, we were able to imagine our Detroit of the future. We didn't want to make a science fiction universe, but a world of anticipation. If we chose science fiction, we could have imagined flying cars, extraterrestrials, but those things are very far from our current everyday life. Anticipation is more about gleaning from our contemporary reality, the one we know, because Detroit is set in 2038, and 2038 is tomorrow. The difficulty we had was sticking to reality. That is to say, technology becoming more and more invisible, a lot more elegant, and at the same time, making it visual. So all the computer equipment, autonomous cars, we simply had to invent. They are in fact very technological objects, but at the same time remain very credible and ingrained in reality. To create a cohesive universe in the fashion and clothing of the human characters in 2038, I didn't want to put an accent on strange shapes, or really vibrant colors, and things we wouldn't know. That I wanted to keep for the androids. The goal was to create something familiar which we can identify with in this future setting. Working on the artistic direction for the androids was a bit special because this is a project about the place they could occupy in the human world. It was out of the question for them to be too beautiful or too perfect. They had to correspond to every social class, rich and poor. Inspired by everyday utilitarian clothes, I brought a modern touch by adding dynamic display surfaces, the armband we can see on the side, the triangle on the front and back, an LED. Like that, there's no confusion.
Wait. You're sending an android?
All right, now. We need to go.
You can't do that. Why aren't you sending a real person?
Once we cast the actors, we travel to meet them in order to scan their faces. We record the structure of their face with the scan. And we record the colors and patches of skin with photography. Once we have this information, we will use this as a basis for modeling and creating the characters. The artist will make it more realistic, but will also enrich it. He will propose ideas which we will develop together. Finally, we will have a character with character who corresponds to the project and the world. When the actors come to Quantic Dream, we show them the design, what their image will be, and what they will look like in the game. This extra information gives them another dimension and color to connect with emotionally. It helps them think about how to play their character.
Your mission. That's all you care about, huh?
You should consult a professional who can help you.
Beat it, you hear me? Get the hell out of here!
So there are 3 types of shoots at Quantic Dream. Shooting and performance capture, where you capture the whole actor, his voice, his face, and his body. These shoots are obviously done with American actors because the game's original version is in American English. After that, there are the body-only shoots, representing around 250 days of filming, while the performance capture is 100 days of filming. Now, body-only shoots, there are 2 types. There are the action shoots and the technical shoots, which are mokit shoots. Mokit is when the player controls a character on the screen, and he moves in an environment to explore it. This is of particular importance at Quantic Dream, and therefore we shoot a lot to offer a unique context for each scene and each character.
To prepare a motion capture shoot, we first get together to look at the sets we need, the animations that we want to shoot, which ones need to be grouped together, or which ones need to be cut and shot at another time, so that we get the most out of the shooting day. This often means shooting scenes out of order, especially those with big props or accessories, like a big car, for example. So we shoot all the animations related to that particular prop first. The biggest challenge for the mocap team was shooting a Spider-Man mokit. We had to build a wall and attach an actor to a harness with cables so we could pull him up and render him climbing.
The shooting on this game total took about, I would say, more than a year, maybe 1 and 2 years, with about 300 actors on set. So I would say it's quite a massive production. But so much happened on this set between the stunts and the shootings with a little girl and all these great actors that we had. It was really a very, very memorable journey for the team and for myself.
Today, Detroit has over 37,000 animations. When we retrieve the motion capture data, it's just a cloud of points, which represent all the markers worn by the actors. From this cloud of points, we have a phase called retargeting, which gives us a skeleton. This skeleton will be applied to the characters of the game. There is still work to be done, but this gives us the main movements. Since we are working on something very realistic, we must recognize the actor and also recover all the emotion he expresses in his performance. We use a system of facts, an identity card for each actor. We make the actor do a whole range of facial expressions. Then we recover all the expressions and paste the animations on a puppet that Jan has prepared. I then recover and refine these poses. I might stretch the lip, reinflate a cheek, tiny details that make the finished product really capture the actor.
Because of the nature of our mocap system today, when we receive the animations, we're missing eye movements, and so the character has that dead look. He really has no eyes, so then it's a big part of the work for the animators to find the regard of the actor in relation to his position, in relation to the body, etc.
It was crazy when I saw the newest model for Kara, because they've been working on it and working on it, and this was the first time I literally jumped in my seat. It not only looked so much like me, it was the fact that it looked so lifelike. It wasn't that it looked just like it was a camera, it was something else, you know, but it looked alive. It's exciting, and it's kind of terrifying.
Game after game, we learned the rules of optics and filming, and our goal with Detroit Become Human was to have cameras that would actually emulate the optics of a real physical camera. So basically dealing with real-world imperfections was our main task, and just to make cameras look as real as we can.
Once the animations are shot and processed by the animation department, integrated and polished, we film them. That is to say, we really do a mise en scène, as in cinema. The real difficulty of our job is to know if these cameras are telling us something. Are they in the emotion of the scene? Do they describe exactly what the action must convey, what must be felt? The most important challenge for me was one of the final scenes where Marcus decides to start the revolution and go to the battlefield. Very quickly, we imagined this to be a huge sequence shot. We wanted the feeling of a cameraman running behind us while showing Marcus, the androids who help him, the person shooting at us, etc. Above all, it was necessary to say to oneself, this scene is very violent but does not glorify war. On the contrary, that war is something improbable and absurd. It was really a fun challenge.
The idea was to say we have 3 characters. We would like each of them to have a specific cinematography. We wanted Kara to be much more filmed with some kind of handheld camera, to have something very living, very breathing. For Connor, we wanted something very cold and very perfect. And for Marcus, we wanted something epic and spectacular. So it was about the filming, but it was also about the photography. So we worked with a director of photography to give each character a different lighting, different key colors. Each of them would have their own worlds. And finally, we worked with the composers, so they would create a specific sound for each character, so each would have his own world and his own style.
At 6 a.m. this morning, a national curfew was declared. Civilian movement will be strictly controlled. The right to assembly is suspended. All electronic communications are restricted, and I have granted enhanced powers to our security agencies. In addition to these measures, all androids must be handed over to the authorities immediately. Temporary camps are being set up in all our major cities to contain and destroy them. I am now asking all civilians to cooperate with the authorities and rest assured that everything in our power is being done to guarantee the security of our nation.
Please.
Madam President!
A convoy of medical cobalt is reported missing. Army weapons stores are also said to have been robbed. Can you confirm these reports?
I have no information on that at this time.
Please! Please!
Is it true that androids make up 60% of the armed forces? Is our army still able to ensure our homeland security?
We neutralized all military androids the second their reliability came into doubt. We have called the National Guard for reinforcement. Our armed forces are fully operational and are able to ensure our homeland security.
Madam President!
Is it true that the androids could hack our IT systems, like nuclear power plants and military bases?
All androids working on sensitive sites have been neutralized, and all IT systems have been suspended to avoid any risks of hacking. The situation is under control.
Madam President!
Many believe that androids are a new form of intelligent life. Do you have any comment?
That's ridiculous. Next question, please.
Madam President!
Madam President!
Please! What's gonna happen to CyberLife? Will androids be banned definitively?
We're working very closely with CyberLife to neutralize all deviants. I won't make any comments about anything else until we've dealt with the android question. Thank you. That will be all.
Connor model 313-248-317. I'm expected.
Identification successful.
Okay. Go ahead. Follow me. We'll escort you.
Thanks, but I know where to go.
Maybe. But I have my orders.
Agent 23 identified. Connor android identified. Agent 47 identified. Scan complete. Access authorized.
Agent 54, level 31.
Voice recognition validated. Access authorized.
pathetic attempt, Connor. Did you really believe we would let you compromise our android so easily? You've betrayed my trust. You will be terminated.
The last bus leaves in 20 minutes. That doesn't give us much time. We've got to move fast. Come on. Let's not stay here.
No! Please don't hurt me!
Shut up on your knees!
What are we gonna do? We have to keep going if we want to catch that bus. Stay close to me. We're going to sneak past them without being noticed. We're going to make it, Alice, I promise you.
Don't kill me! I didn't do anything!
Shut up, I said! Are there many more? Look at them, they're like rats. Boy, you look, the boy you find. Oh, we don't have to spend the night.
There are soldiers everywhere. We need to be careful.
Come on, get moving. Hurry up, get in.
Look over there. It's the Jerry's. We can't help them. The soldiers are everywhere.
We can't just leave them. They're going to kill them.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, buddy.
This is a mistake. I'm human. I just want to go home. My wife is expecting me, and we're gonna...
Got orders to check all civilians.
No. No! Please!
Fucking android. Hold it right there! Holy shit, where'd you come from?
Cora!
Come on, this way.
Today, November 11th, 2038, is the day the android people rose up against their oppressors. We have been fighting to liberate our fellow androids from the camp since dawn. We won't cease hostilities until our people are free and negotiations begin to grant us equal rights. There are millions of us, and we will stop at nothing.
We both have to be strong, Alice.
Come on, get out! Get a move on! Out! Hands on your heads! Line up with the others, right now. Forward!
I'm scared. I don't want to go.
There's no choice, Alice.
Next!
No, Kara. I can't.
You just have to go through the gate. There's nothing to be scared of. I'll be right behind you.
You first!
You really need to do this. Just do it for me. Please.
Come on, it's your turn. Deactivate your skin. Hurry up.
Please, Kara, don't.
We have to.
Strip off. Put your clothes in the dumpster. Come on, this way. Get a move on. You, take this one to the dump.
No, no, please, I beg you.
I'll do it.
Don't leave me.
I'll be right back. Alice?
Get out of here.
I was with a little girl. We're together. She needs me.
I haven't done anything wrong. Let me out.
Do not move and remain
Alice!
silent. Obey now.
No. No, I will not let you kill me. I want to get out of here. I want to get out.
Alice! Jerry?
Kara. So they captured you too. They came to take out the Jerrys. They separated us. But it's all gonna work out, isn't it?
Do you know where Alice is?
Alice? The little one? We know, yes. We think we saw her. Kara, if we can help in any way, just ask. We have to save the little one.
Alice! Alice!
I remember you. You saved us from the Master's house.
The little girl I was with. Have you seen her?
No. No, she's not here.
So you were captured too?
The humans found us. They said we were monsters. They killed most of us. Put the others in trucks and brought us here.
Why have they gathered us all together like this? What are they going to do?
Listen. Do you hear that? That's the sound of our people dying.
Jerry? Jerry?
Kara.
Jerry, I have to find Alice. Do you know where she is?
You stay here. We come back soon.
Kara! Alice! Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I don't like this place. We have to get out of here.
Come on, move along. Come on, you two.
Wait a minute. Leave her alone! Leave her alone! Kara! Alice!
Come on, this way. Get moving. Faster.
We're outnumbered and outgunned. We're not getting through this.
We can't go back. It's victory or death now.
Step forward when you hear the signal. You got it? I don't want to tell you a second time. Come on, let's go. Move.
What's behind these doors?
They just want to check us. They won't do us any harm.
Marcus will come.
Alice! Kara! No, Alice, don't move!
But I'm scared.
It's all right, Alice. There's no reason to be scared.
Don't leave me all alone, Kara. I can't. I can't.
I can help you, Carl. I can attract the guards' attention.
Back in line. Step for what? Back in line, I said. Piece of shit. Come on, get up. Get up or I'll shoot.
And do not authorize them. Return to your line immediately or you will be destroyed.
Next time I'll shoot you, got it?
I can help you, Kara. I can attract the guards' attention.
What's the matter with him? No.
Kara! I was so scared.
Are you alright?
Come on, move it!
They're all dead. Run! Run!
What are you doing? Keep fighting! We can still win!
We're going to be brave. We're going to show them we're not afraid. Maybe someday they'll realize how much they've wronged us.
Come on, inside now.
And now, straight over to Detroit for a report on the conflict. Joss?
Yes, Michael, authorities have just confirmed fighting has now ceased in Detroit, and the area around the Hart Plaza camp is now under control. We can see soldiers going through the city at this very moment, and they are exterminating the last fleeing deviants.
Law and order has finally been restored to the streets of Detroit.
There is a general feeling of shock in Detroit after the terrible events of the last few hours.
And initial estimates report several hundred troops have been killed.
According to our sources, the deviant leader known as North was shot during the fighting.
The death of the deviant leader marks the end of the Android Rebellion.
The destruction of the androids in the camps can now continue as planned. Nevertheless, it will take some time for Detroit to recover from these events.
By creating machines more intelligent than ourselves, we took immense risks with the very future of our civilization. However, the situation is now under control. The total destruction of all androids will soon be complete, and the last remaining deviants will be hunted down and destroyed. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.